Game number 3, here we go. This time, Mario, another game from you. You're playing with the white pieces, again, Maximilian Lou. And what do we have? It's the English, well, now we go into, I don't know what this is called, an anti-Grunfeld maybe? No idea. Anyway, here you go knight f3. Just to point out, rook b1 is another move, as well as h4. They play h4 in all kinds of positions these days. I think it's pretty reasonable here as well. Just if you want to mix it up, those are some alternatives. Bam bam, castle, castle, c5, d4, knight c6. Yeah, so this is still theory, but it seems you weren't aware of it because you said, I here consider bishop a3, bishop b2, and e3 too. This position has been still seen, I don't quite remember, over 100 times, I think. No, more. I think more than that. I think e3 was played like 300 times already. Something like that, which makes sense. I mean, both players played natural moves. So e3 is the main move. That would be one option. Bishop e3, I think it's not giving, I think it's the second most played move, but it's not giving white anything, really. I think maybe the most interesting is d5, from what I saw briefly. Yeah, I don't think the black should take this pawn. Probably should go knight a5. And now bishop f4, bishop f5. I mean, there's some imbalance here, right? Because you play d5, you have more space. So it's dynamic, anything can happen. It gives more spice. It adds more spice to a position. There was actually a game from the US Championship this year between Shanklin and So, which won rook b1, but it seems this is not too great a try here. The game went like knight takes d4, takes, queen takes, bishop e3. Yeah, I mean, this actually in the game, Shanklin even had to defend to get a draw, but yeah, I think this is just a way to make a draw here with white. It doesn't look like a very ambitious try. So yeah, like I said, I would recommend you to look into e3 or maybe d5. There's also d takes c5, but okay, I'm not sure, but also exists. It's also interesting. Okay, bishop e3 takes, and here you play a novelty. You play bishop takes d4, and I think 20 times or so has been seen c takes d4, knight takes d4, maybe 60 times. Yeah, bishop takes d4 nobody plays because, well, you're just offering your bishop for free on d4. So you don't want to do that. Just give up your bishop pair like that. Yeah, there's really no upside to this move. It's the knight who belongs in the center here. Or take with the pawn. That would be also fine. Knight takes d4. Yeah, but black is fine here. Like you also put in here a game by Wagner. Black played knight a5. Black is fine. I mean, in either case, also after c takes d4, bishop e6, black is okay. So this is why I said bishop e3 is not the best try in the position. Okay, takes e5, bishop c5, rook e8. Here say you also consider queen a4 and queen d6. Yeah, queen d6 I think doesn't make much sense really. I mean, if you want to trade right away, the bishop is not well placed on d6, and queen a4 is from e4. So you play queen takes d8. Yeah, I think you should keep the queens on the board because well, I'm not sure if I can make an argument for that your king is safer here than the black king, because it feels like black king is also pretty safe. But then again, he has already played e5, so at least this square is a little bit more vulnerable. And the other thing is that your structure is worse, right? You have 2 pawn islands here on the queen side. So one way to compensate for that is to play dynamically and to get play against the opponent's king at some point, maybe, right? So I think in general you want to keep queens on the board here. One way to do this would be at knight to d2. This makes sense anyway because there's a weak square on d6, and that would prepare the knight to land on d6 sooner or later. So knight d2 I think was a good move here. Because the knight is not doing too much on f3 anyway, it's just getting hit with e4 here and then, here and there. So I think knight d2 was good. So I think once again, queen trade. Queen trade is the topic for your games today. In both cases, I think it was not the right decision. Because this endgame is pretty sad for you. I mean, you're just defending here, you have the worst structure. And these pawns, especially pawn c3, you have to watch out that you don't lose them. So this is not a happy endgame to play. I mean, you're just, all you can hope for really reasonably is a draw. Whereas if you play knight d2, I mean, anything can happen with queens on the board. Also opening up the bishop. This, yeah, looks good. Looks better. Okay, here you play rook fd1. You say knight g5, this move wasn't in my candidate moves. Once again, same idea, right? Same idea to bring the knight to better squares. The knight on f3 is not too happy. Okay, rook fd1 on the other hand, I mean, it's very natural move. But once again, here you should go knight g5, right? Once again, bishop c4 and e3. Yeah, here black can probably play f5 as you put, but okay, still, this feels like the way to go. You play bishop d6, and yeah, this is not achieving anything, right? If you were able to play c4, c5, then okay, that would be something different, but you're not able to do that. I mean, you could just take there. So I guess you didn't really look ahead far, or maybe you missed this idea that you could just double rooks. I don't know. But after rook d7 you had to retreat. So obviously I didn't help you much, especially as now your opponent won this pawn, but at least you get a little bit active. So that's something. Rook d7, b6. And here play rook c7, which is fine, takes. And now, but now you took too early. I mean, in general, the problem is black has this passed a pawn, right? And the rook is already well placed. So what we want to do here is we want to at least push the rook away. So knight g5 to take with the bishop on c6 and attack the rook would be better. Yeah, this would also, you know, ask some questions here for black. And it's not so easy for him. First, you would not need to play this move to keep the advantage, bishop f6. Now, you could also already take on c6. Here, the only move to keep the advantage is bishop d8. Okay, I mean, those are moves your opponent first has to find, right? It's not so trivial. And here, bishop e6. Okay, this endgame will be tough, but you keep some chances here for survival, even though, yeah, this will be very tough. The alternative was to go h4 here. It's also possible. And now the line you gave was a5 takes, bishop d8, rook b7, bishop a4. Okay, once again, you're definitely putting up much more resistance because at least this pawn will not queen so soon. Here if the rook takes c6, yeah, I'm guessing you played this too quickly. I don't know, but this is like you just thought, okay, I need to regain my piece. You didn't even think about other moves like moving the knight and pinning the knight on c6. This would be my guess. So if so, then yeah, take more time before playing automatic moves, I guess. Automatic, because they're not automatic sometimes. Rook takes c6, e4, knight g5. f5, rook takes c5. Yeah, it's a tough position now, of course. Here, yeah, I should go f3 instead of rook takes c5, but either way, I mean, this will be... Yeah, I mean, this is lost. To be honest, this is lost. Here, he should go a5, but he played bishop f6. And now you should try rook a5. But in all these lines, I mean, it would make it more difficult for your opponent, but it wouldn't change the evaluation. This is also, of course, winning. But you still need to make it as hard as possible, right? You still need to put up the most resistance. You have the h4, a5, h4, a5. This is really bad now. But okay, you keep on fighting. Check, c4. And now actually your opponent panics and he plays bishop takes g5, and you still have some chance again. He could just push, right? Because here you can just give the exchange. There's no mate, and this pawn will queen. White has to give up the rook, and then black is up a piece. So he takes a4, bishop d5, h6, takes king h7. Okay, this is the last critical moment in the game, I think. Yeah. And I don't know what the time situation was, but here you could have made it still really difficult. There are two options, g4 and e4. And after both, I mean, the win is not easy for black in either case. So let's begin with e4. If black takes, that would be a draw, because you would get the pawn on g6, and I think you should be able to sacrifice the bishop against the pawn, probably, and then you have to just defend bishop and rook against rook, which is a draw, theoretically at least. So after e4, black should take on h6 instead, and now play bishop e1. Okay, and here you bring the rook back, but this is yeah, this should be lost, but it's still not still tricky. I mean, for example, here black cannot go into rook endgame because this would be a draw as these two pawns get exchanged. So just play bishop c2, rook c1, a3 now, a2, and I mean, he has to be really precise, as you can notice probably here. And then he gets this position, which I feel like should be winning for black. But yeah, not so easy, right? Not so easy. 1 point here is at c7, rook takes. Doesn't work because of rook c2. So this is e4, this would be a good try. The other try is similar as g4. And then rook f8. And e4, that's the pawn now. Now you can play c5 and protect the bishop. And again, this position, okay, maybe it's winning for black, but okay, what do you have to lose, right? Your position was bad anyway, and this is the best you can get, and black still has to win somehow. I don't even know. Will he win this? Doesn't look like it really, right? I mean, you could even play c7, threatening c7. This, well, why not play c7 here? This looks like a draw. I mean, he has to take. You take here. Okay. Yeah, maybe bishop d1, bishop f3. But okay, probably you should give up this pawn as well. And then this position, without the bishops, is a draw. And with the bishops, I don't really know. But okay, this is the best you ever saw in a long time. So we shouldn't, yeah, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, if it's a draw or winning, in the end, what matters is that you ask the most questions. So yeah, g4, e4, g4 probably even better. Yeah, you need to look for such resources for sure. Yeah, g4 is also threatening g5, which is nice. Yeah, unfortunately you missed that, and after king f2, I think now it's lost. Probably the best try would be to give up here the bishop, but this position, you will lose it sooner or later. Yeah, no, you will lose it sooner or later, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, again here c5, best try, but it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure your opponent would have found the win there as well. All right, so I see some questions here by Mario. After bishop, or statements, after bishop d6 I was planning to play bishop knight to g5, black would have made other move than rook d7. Alright, let me see this again. So here, you want to play knight g5, and then, okay, put some pressure on the b file, probably with rook b1, yeah? Yeah, good point. But yeah, you gotta see rook d7, right? And then it just doesn't work, unfortunately. And your other question was, could I send you the analysis of e4 and g4 in the endgame? Of course I can. All right. And I will. So afterwards I can get it to you, Mario. And well, thank you very much. You're saying this analysis is the most valuable you've given me. Okay, wow. Well, thank you. And also, of course, thank you for your continuous support. I don't know how many months it's been, but thanks so much. This, by the way, will be our last, the last Patron game analysis live stream, because I'm focusing on other projects. So this will be the last one, and I'm glad I could provide some more valuable lessons here. So really happy to hear it, and once again, thanks Mario for supporting me.